Once, by the side of a clear and sparkling river, lived a pair of cranes. They had built a cozy nest high up in a tree, a place they felt was safe to start their family. One day, the female crane laid 3 eggs for the first time. The 2 cranes were filled with joy and excitement, dreaming of the day their chicks would hatch. Every day they lovingly cared for the eggs, waiting eagerly to meet their little ones. But what they didn't know was that these eggs would soon bring a series of sad events. One sunny morning, the cranes flew off to find food by the river. The river was full of fish, so they quickly filled their bellies and returned home. When they reached their nest, their hearts sank. The eggs were gone. They searched everywhere, but there was no sign of the eggs or the thief. Heartbroken, the cranes had to accept that their precious eggs were lost. To avoid another tragedy, they built a new nest in a different place. Time passed, and the female crane laid more eggs. This time, the male went to find food while the female stayed behind to guard the nest. They followed this routine every day, hoping the eggs would be safe. But one morning, when the male crane returned, he found his mate crying. The eggs were gone again. This time the female had seen the thief. A snake had come and eaten the eggs. She tried to fight it, but the snake turned on her, forcing her to step back helplessly as it devoured the eggs in front of her eyes. Filled with anger and despair, the male crane went to his wise friend, the crab, and told him everything. "I don't know what to do," he said. "The snake has taken our eggs again." The crab, calm and thoughtful, replied, "Don't worry, my friend. We'll find a way together." After thinking for a while, the crab whispered a clever plan to the crane. Hope returned to the crane's heart. He rushed back to share the plan with his mate. "Are you sure this will work?" she asked worriedly. "We can't afford another mistake." "We have to try," he said with determination. When the female crane laid eggs again, they followed the plan exactly. The next morning, the male crane flew to the riverbank and caught some small fish. He placed the fish in a trail leading from a mongoose's burrow all the way to their tree. Then he flew to the snake's den and loudly announced that they had eggs again, hoping to lure the snake out. The mongoose smelled the fish and followed the trail curiously, straight toward the crane's tree. At the same time, the snake slithered out of its hole, heading for the crane's nest. When the mongoose saw the snake, it thought the snake was a threat and attacked. A fierce battle began. They fought violently, each trying to overpower the other. Finally, after a long fight, the mongoose killed the snake. From their nest, the cranes watched and sighed in relief. Their tormentor was finally gone. But the relief didn't last long. The next day, when the cranes returned from fishing, they were shocked. The mongoose was climbing down from their tree. They rushed to their nest and found their eggs eaten once again. The mongoose, who had saved them from the snake, had become an even worse enemy. Moral of the story: the crane's story teaches us a valuable lesson. Sometimes in trying to fix one problem quickly, we end up creating a bigger one. Like people who take quick loans to solve small issues, only to face bigger troubles later. So, always think before you act. Be calm, patient, and wise, and choose solutions that bring real peace.